So how are we all doing, guys? Today, I've just been into Manchester because I needed to put my phone in to be sorted. Because I have a Pixel 6a, and when that got updated a month or so back, Google also sent me a message on the phone saying, unfortunately, your phone is now going to overheat from this update or something like that, and you're going to have to get a new battery. So anyway, I've held on because basically I didn't want to pay for a new battery, but it was really dying. I think I told you this in my last thing. I went into the background of my Pixel phone, and there was this thing in there about updating your battery and getting it sorted. So I went on that, and they actually gave me this option of getting a battery sent to me, getting a voucher, which I think was €150, or getting cash put in my bank of €100. So I went for the cash in the bank, and I had to sign up to this banking system, but it all worked okay, and £70 has gone into my bank account. So then I looked on Google to see who they recommended repaired this phone, and there's this company called iSmash. It's a good name, that. It's a little I and then Smash. It's a big company, and there was one in Manchester because I didn't want to send it away, you know. I've had that problem before with phones, so I didn't want to send it away. So I went down to Manchester and I talked to them, and they said, yeah, just bring it in, we'll sort it, and it's £69. I thought, great, so I don't even have to pay any more because I got sent 70, or it got transferred into 70 quid. So I've taken it in today. 2 hours they've got it, but you just hate leaving your phone with someone. And he put it into repair mode when I was there with him. So he could see that he couldn't do anything else apart from work in this repair mode. But you have to trust them at the end of the day. What can you do? So anyway, I've left the phone, and I'm waiting to go back at 2 o'clock to pick it up. But I also have another job to do, and that is to find my brother's birthday present. I have a brother. I don't think you knew that, did you? Well, I do. He lives in Australia. He's lived in Australia since he was 18. You remember when I walked out of home at 17? Well, that sort of crunch came when he'd visited where I was living with my mum in Wales. He came over one day, I don't know, maybe the end of the year before I turned 17, and he said, I'm off to Australia. I'm going to hitchhike my way across and see what life gives me, because at the end of the day he had so many struggles like I did. Whereas I was living with my mum, he was living with Dad, and Dad was an alcoholic, and I know that he was very, very unhappy. But so I was devastated when he left, because he was like the last person I had around who I could talk to about life and how hard it was living with mum and him living with Dad. But as a boy and as a young man, he was never going to talk about it anyway. He really wasn't. He was just stoic. But he decided what he needed to do was get away. So he trotted off to Australia, and that's where he's been ever since. Yeah, so basically we weren't in contact then for a long, long time. He did whatever he was doing with his life in Australia, and he met a partner, he met a girl, and they've been together ever since, which is good. And although he couldn't come to my wedding, he did come and visit us somewhere around where I was 25. We were running our transport business in Reading, and he came to visit us. He was over visiting people. So we saw him for about a week, and then he was gone again. I've never really been in touch with him ever since then so it's probably at least 20 years before we became in contact again. And I can't remember why. I think I was worrying about dying and nobody knowing what to do with my stuff. Yeah, so I think I was worrying about, letting him know what to do with my stuff, because I wasn't in contact with the children anymore. So I just needed someone to know what to do with my stuff, and basically it's just throw it away, because I haven't got anything that's of any importance anymore. So Christmas time, and every so often he'll send me an email and I'll send him an email back. And on the 29th of September, it's his 70th birthday. I only thought he was a couple of years older than me, but he's actually nearly 2.5. So I went into town at Manchester. Once I dropped my phone off, I went into town and I bought some bits and pieces of a lovely birthday card for him. I found something in a charity shop that takes us right back to the 60s. Vinyl coasters. I know. You can only find them in charity shops, that sort of quirky stuff. I was looking for a VW camper, but I couldn't find one, a little miniature one. I wanted to get it engraved, but so I've now got him, and there was just a lady walking past with her dog, so I had to turn the phone off. So I've now got him his birthday present. I'm going to do this walk. I'm hopefully going to get back my phone, which I'm really looking forward to, because I can do a lot more walking videos then, chat to you while I'm walking, and you can see the scenery as well, which I sort of miss not showing you, because there's some beautiful scenery. This one's just a canal walk, but even so, I mean, that's gorgeous out there. So I took the bus towards Middleton. I've got off before Middleton, and now I'm heading into Middleton to go and get the bus back. I just want to chat about the nomadic life that I live. I'm a nomad, I'm not homeless. But there was something on the TV the other day, not the TV, on YouTube, and it was about the homeless, and it was about homeless women and what they had to do to protect themselves, because it's harder for women on the street who are homeless to survive than it is for men. I've never really considered myself homeless. I mean, I have been a couple of times, and I've had to go to shelter. When I lost the car, it was my second time. The first time was when I was chucked out by the gypsies in the caravan. That's when I got into social housing. And then when I smashed my car up, and it was so unexpected, I had to get hold of shelter and ask them for help, because I had nowhere to stay, nowhere to go. I had all this stuff in a suitcase, and I was sort of trying to work out what to do next. So I ended up staying in a couple of B&Bs and Airbnbs and that, to try and work out how to find somewhere to live. So I have been there a couple of times, but I'm nowhere near the homeless that are on the streets. I mean, I'm very lucky. I mean, I have now an income, a pension, that keeps me from going. Nice little bit of something here. I have a pension now. This little walkway under a sort of like a tunnel of trees. Just going to see where it goes. So yeah, I have an income now of £1,000 a month, so like nearly 900 and something, and that stops me from being homeless. As long as I'm careful, I can live with a roof over my head, proper roof over my head, have electricity, running water. It just comes through there. It comes out here. I'm very lucky to have an income that stops me from ending up on the streets. And even if things go wrong in this place at the moment, I can still go and stay in B&Bs and, you know, just watch my money very carefully, and while I find somewhere else to live, and if needs be I can even go and live in my tent for a while, although now winter's coming, that's a very difficult thing to do, but I could do. I have abilities which proper homeless don't have, so I am a nomad. So whether you are homeless or a nomad, you still have to think ahead. You have to think about your accommodation and, you know, what you're going to eat and when you're going to buy it and things like that. But a lot of people can get this wrong, especially on YouTube, because you've got all sorts on YouTube. You've got mainly the nomadics, like Kobe Talks. He's decided to be a nomadic. He's not quite homeless yet, even though I think he's not far off that, because he is young and I don't know where his income's coming from. But he seems to be happy strolling around the UK. But there are others on there who are proper nomads, and they live in their car or they live in their tents and they have finances and they're fine. So every so often you'll get someone pop up, like what's he called, Hobo Road or something, and he's truly homeless. He's found a way to do YouTube, and he's found a newer way now, but people slag him off, but people have a go at him because they don't think he's properly homeless, because he's actually quite clever with his YouTube pictures and stuff and commentary, and he's really quite clever. But he is homeless in America. He's a true homeless because he's fighting to get himself out of his situation. So people who are watching YouTube mix the two up. Quite often they'll think someone who's a nomad is homeless, and I think sometimes, you know, they could donate more to someone who is like Hobo Road, who is homeless and could do with a little bit of help. Well, that's just my own personal opinion. There's one that came on there a while back, and he suddenly had this tent on the beach, and he had an Alsatian dog, and I thought, you're not homeless. At the end of the day, you're going back somewhere, even though you're telling us that you are. He was very young, but he seems to have stuck it out, and he seems to be being homeless, so maybe I just got that wrong. I don't know. So it's important to me to be the nomad that I am. I don't want to be stuck in a prison and not be able to move because I haven't got the money, because I live in a nice place and the rent's quite high. You know, I've chosen what I've chosen so that I can get out and about, and I'm happy with that. And I love my room. I do, I love my room, and I love where I live. It's only one little aspect of it, the damn situation, that's causing an issue, but I'm not going to be leaving it, not unless I get forced out. I don't think so. Coming up to some houses, so I'm just going to end my chat here. I just wanted you to know that I'm not unhappy. I'm really happy with my little room. It's exactly what I wanted. I've got electrics, I've got a kettle, I've got water, I've got a bathroom in the corridor. There's only two other people. Oh, Ahmed's come back. The guy who was renting before. Did I tell you that? I don't know. Anyway, he's come back. He's obviously been on holiday wherever, and he's come back. So he's in his room now. But there's still only three of us. I don't think Dan's going to change even though Ahmed's back, because last night, you know, he was starting to cook at midnight. I have found ways to block my ears even more, so sometimes I can not hear him at all, so I'm working on that and doing quite a good job there. Get that sorted and that'll be fine, and I can sleep through the night. But yeah, so Ahmed's back. He's complained about Dan to the landlord, but I don't know how that's going to go. Anyway, that's something that's going to trot along, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so we'll just see how that goes. I'll just see how that goes. I'll see if Ahmed gets really stroppy, and maybe he might know the landlord, or maybe he might be able to persuade the landlord a bit more to sort things out. I don't know, but it's a new situation, and I'm just biding my time and seeing what happens next. So that's it for now. I'm going to go and find my bus and hopefully pick up my fixed phone, and I can do a load more walking videos, which I really want to do because there's so much beautiful scenery out there, and you sort of miss it on this phone because it shakes a lot when as soon as I move away from looking at me. Is that saying something? Yeah, so I'll be really happy if that works properly now and I get a long time on that. I've got my microphones and that, and I'll try and do some interesting walks because winter's coming, so a lot more of my walks will actually be street walks through villages and that, so I'll be able to catch more pictures of places, you know, houses and shops and stuff that I'm walking past as I do these walks. And I will catch up with you guys soon.
This is the 59 service to Manchester.